In the early 2010s, Ruby Franke emerged as a prominent figure in Utah's burgeoning family vlogging community, building an impressive online empire that would eventually reach millions of viewers worldwide. Her journey began modestly, like many other content creators at the time, with simple home videos showcasing her family life. However, Franke's charisma, polished presentation, and knack for storytelling quickly set her apart from the crowd. She became the face of *8 Passengers*, a YouTube channel that chronicled her experiences as a mother of 6 children. With its sunny aesthetic, relatable parenting anecdotes, and aspirational lifestyle content, the channel amassed a loyal following. By 2019, Franke had cultivated a subscriber base of over 1 million, making her one of the most recognizable names in the family vlogging space. The appeal of Franke's content lay in its ability to resonate with a specific demographic, predominantly Mormon families in Utah and beyond who value traditional family structures and shared cultural values. Her videos often featured wholesome themes, family outings, holiday celebrations, homemaking tips, and faith-based reflections that aligned closely with the ideals of her audience. For many viewers, Franke represented the quintessential example of a devoted mother, balancing the demands of a large family while maintaining an outwardly perfect household. This image was further amplified by her active presence on social media platforms like Instagram, where she posted curated snapshots of her daily life, reinforcing the perception of domestic harmony. However, beneath the surface of this carefully constructed persona, cracks began to emerge. In late 2019, allegations surfaced that painted a starkly different picture of Franke's reality. Former friends and acquaintances came forward with claims of emotional manipulation, verbal abuse, and controlling behavior. These accusations gained traction when Franke's ex-husband, Kevin Franke, filed for divorce, alleging years of psychological mistreatment. The revelations sent shockwaves through her fanbase, forcing them to reconcile the polished public image they had admired with the troubling private truths now coming to light. The scandal reached a tipping point in 2021 when Ruby Franke pleaded guilty to misdemeanor child neglect charges stemming from incidents involving her children. Court documents revealed that Franke had subjected her kids to excessive discipline and neglectful supervision, behaviors that directly contradicted the nurturing motherhood she had portrayed online. The legal proceedings stripped away the veneer of perfection that had defined her brand, exposing the dissonance between her public persona and private actions. While Franke initially attempted to downplay the allegations, the mounting evidence made it impossible to ignore the gravity of her crimes. This dramatic fall from grace marked a pivotal moment not only for Franke herself, but also for the broader family vlogging community in Utah. Her case highlighted the dangers of prioritizing curated content over authentic representation, raising critical questions about accountability and transparency within the industry. As the scandal unfolded, it became clear that Franke's story was not just an isolated incident, but rather a symptom of deeper issues plaguing the family vlogging space, a community that had long thrived on idealized portrayals of family life. The fallout from her crimes would ultimately serve as a catalyst for change, prompting both creators and audiences to reevaluate the ethical boundaries of online content creation. The revelation of Ruby Franke's crimes sent shockwaves through Utah's family vlogging community, sparking a period of intense self-reflection and recalibration among content creators. Many prominent figures within the space found themselves grappling with the uncomfortable realization that their own practices might inadvertently contribute to the perpetuation of unrealistic standards. The polished, seemingly flawless depictions of family life that once dominated their channels now carried an implicit weight of scrutiny. Creators began to question whether their content was fostering genuine connection or merely feeding into a culture of performative perfectionism that could mask deeper issues behind closed doors. One immediate consequence of Franke's scandal was the noticeable shift in content strategies across the community. Several high-profile vloggers, including those who had previously collaborated with Franke or modeled their brands after hers, began incorporating more candid and unfiltered elements into their videos. For instance, some started sharing raw footage of chaotic family moments, tantrums, arguments, and even mundane household struggles that had traditionally been edited out of their narratives. Others took a more direct approach by addressing topics such as mental health, parenting challenges, and the pressures of maintaining an online presence. These efforts signaled a collective move toward authenticity, as creators sought to rebuild trust with their audiences by dismantling the illusion of perfection. Audience reactions played a crucial role in shaping this transformation. Initially, many viewers expressed feelings of betrayal and disillusionment upon learning about Franke's misconduct. Social media platforms buzzed with discussions about how the carefully curated images they had consumed masked potentially harmful realities. This growing awareness prompted audiences to demand greater transparency from their favorite creators. Comment sections filled with calls for honesty, vulnerability, and accountability, signaling a shift in what viewers valued most in the content they consumed. The message was clear. Audiences no longer wanted to see only the highlight reels. They wanted to see real life, the good, the bad, and everything in between. In response, several creators embraced this new paradigm by adopting more ethical approaches to their storytelling. Some implemented stricter guidelines around how they portrayed their children, ensuring that their kids' consent and privacy were prioritized over entertainment value. Others formed collaborative groups to establish industry-wide standards for responsible content creation, emphasizing the importance of safeguarding family well-being over chasing views or sponsorships. These initiatives reflected a broader recognition that the stakes were higher than ever, not just for individual creators, but for the entire ecosystem of family vlogging. Ultimately, Franke's scandal served as a wake-up call for Utah's family vlogging community, forcing creators to confront the unintended consequences of their work. It underscored the need for balance between creative expression and ethical responsibility, challenging the status quo of what constituted acceptable content. As the community navigated this period of transition, it became evident that the changes sparked by Franke's case were not merely superficial adjustments, but meaningful steps toward fostering a healthier, more sustainable environment for all involved. The fallout from Ruby Franke's crimes extended far beyond the confines of Utah's family vlogging community, catalyzing a broader movement toward systemic reform in both legal and ethical frameworks governing online content creation. At the forefront of these efforts were state-level legislative proposals aimed at addressing the unique vulnerabilities of children featured in digital media. Lawmakers in Utah introduced bills designed to strengthen protections for minors involved in influencer activities, mandating explicit parental consent agreements and imposing stricter age-appropriate content guidelines. These measures sought to ensure that children's participation in vlogs and other forms of online content was not only voluntary, but also shielded from exploitation under the guise of family entertainment. Additionally, penalties for violations were significantly increased, sending a clear message that the welfare of children must take precedence over commercial interests. Simultaneously, advocacy groups advocating for child safety and digital rights gained momentum, leveraging Franke's case to amplify their calls for industry-wide accountability. Organizations such as the Digital Child Protection Coalition launched campaigns urging platforms like YouTube and Instagram to adopt more stringent policies regarding family content. These included mandatory training modules for creators on child safeguarding, enhanced algorithmic monitoring to detect potentially harmful material, and transparent reporting mechanisms for viewers to flag concerning behavior. Advocates also pushed for the establishment of independent oversight boards, tasked with reviewing flagged content and holding creators accountable for breaches of ethical standards. Within the vlogging community itself, these external pressures spurred the development of self-regulatory initiatives. Prominent creators collaborated to draft a Family Content Creator Code of Ethics, which outlined best practices for portraying children responsibly and maintaining transparency with audiences. Key tenets of the code included obtaining informed consent from all family members featured in videos, avoiding staged scenarios that could compromise children's dignity, and refraining from monetizing content that disproportionately focuses on minors. To enforce compliance, participating creators agreed to peer reviews and periodic audits conducted by third-party organizations specializing in child welfare. Perhaps most significantly, Franke's case prompted a cultural shift in how success is measured within the family vlogging space. Where metrics like subscriber counts and ad revenue once reigned supreme, creators began prioritizing ethical integrity and audience trust as benchmarks of achievement. This paradigm shift was evident in the growing popularity of anti-perfectionist vlogs, which emphasized authenticity and vulnerability over curated perfection. Viewers increasingly rewarded creators who embraced this approach, demonstrating that meaningful engagement could thrive without sacrificing ethical principles. Collectively, these reforms signaled a transformative moment for the industry, one where accountability and responsibility became integral to its evolution. Ruby Franke's crimes have left an indelible mark on Utah's family vlogging community, serving as both a cautionary tale and a catalyst for meaningful change. Her case underscored the profound disconnect between the polished facades often presented online and the complex realities of family life, exposing the risks inherent in prioritizing entertainment over authenticity. For creators, Franke's downfall has reinforced the importance of transparency and ethical responsibility, reminding them that their influence carries significant weight. Moving forward, the emphasis must remain on fostering genuine connections with audiences while safeguarding the well-being of all family members, particularly children, who are often the most vulnerable participants in this digital landscape. By embracing vulnerability, rejecting performative perfectionism, and adhering to evolving legal and ethical standards, the family vlogging space can continue to evolve into a more accountable and sustainable community. Ultimately, Franke's legacy will be defined not by her transgressions, but by the positive transformations her story has inspired, a testament to the resilience and adaptability of an industry determined to learn from its past.